Hi, this is Anna of the Hand Network. Today we are making another vegetable stir fry. We have both brown and white onions. We have, actually I guess you would call them yellow, red peppers, curly leaf kale, chard, dinosaur leaf kale. This is really cool. And we have Trader Joe's organic tomatoes, chives, and we're going to use butter with our coconut oil in the pan. And we're also going to flavor everything with this soy sauce. Again, love to have a sponsorship, but you know, there we go. Don't know, there we are, but there we are. Alright, here we have, sorry, the air conditioner fan is making my stove shake. But we have our butter and our coconut oil. I used about that much of the container. So about half a cup, a little less maybe. The thing about adding the butter to the coconut oil is I watched a health video once, and I really can't remember its name, but it was about people who lived in Italy, and the doctor was a heart cardiologist trying to figure out what made them so much healthier and age better. And he discovered that if you mix coconut oil with butter, the fat solids from the butter will be fine in the heat, which is kind of a cool little addendum here. But that's why I'm mixing the coconut oil with butter, plus it's going to add a really nice flavor into the whole batch. In addition to that, I'm going to take my soy sauce here, and I just sprinkle it. And you know what? In later times, I'm going to get the organic soy sauce, so I don't have to worry about it being GMO. I've got a lot bigger fish to fry right now than the fact that I'm putting a little bit of soy sauce in my vegetable mix. I mean, no offense, and I'm totally anti-GMO, but I'm just saying, right now, I'm not worrying about that aspect. So I'm going to chop up my onions into half moon size, and I'm also going to throw in these beautiful, 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 can you see it here? These chives. Oh, I wish I had a spotlight. They're just lovely. But anyway, okay. There we go. We have our red peppers, our chives, our onions, both yellow and white. We're just going to let this simmer. And yeah, the stove is messy, but you know what? You're eating food in your own kitchen, and by virtue of that, it's going to be a little messy. It's kind of like life. If you really live it, it might be a little messy at times. But you know what? That's okay. So this is our stuff, and I always put in the peppers as one of the first things so that they super wilt. The reason being, I'm Avada, and we don't handle peppers well. Technically, I'm not even supposed to have peppers as Avada, but I love the color they add to the dish. So we're cooking them until they're like, you know, cooked until oblivion, and they will be super soft and not be so hard for Avada to digest. So that's why I put them in with the onions. A lot of people put them in midpoint or near the end. I just can't handle peppers that way. And these are mild peppers. If these were hot peppers, they would not even be in the pan. So that's our onion mix. Again, we're now going to chop up our curly leaf kale, our dinosaur kale, and our chard. I'm thinking I have to transfer this to a big saucepan that I have right here to cook it the rest of the way. Once the onions are done, I'm just going to dump this whole menagerie into that pan, and that's what we're going to do. And this cooking is actually not for this week because I literally have overcooked for like a week of food. So most of this is actually going to be frozen, and I'll just have it in the freezer, can easily access it, and then I don't have to worry about cooking for 2 weeks. And if I don't want to have to go to the market next weekend, which I will because routine is important, but I don't have to because I'll have literally 2 weeks worth of food already prepped and already ready. And I'm going to add some meat to this, probably some hamburger, because that's what I have in my freezer right now. Plus, it's much higher in iron than like chicken, for instance, and that's why I tend to eat it, because if you have any trouble with low iron, that really does help. You can also get, Trader Joe's has some awesome veggie boogers, and those are really good with this as well. They have like 11 grams of protein, and they actually taste good even though they're made with chickpeas, which is saying a lot. But this week we're just going to put some hamburger in with this, cook it down with the onion and whatnot, put in the chards and the chard and the kales, and then drop in the tomatoes. The tomatoes I like to put in last because I really like tomatoes, but I don't like them stewed to oblivion. I like them just kind of mildly there. So that's why I put them in last. And some people chop them in half, and I might do that with the larger sized tomatoes, but I might not, because these are easy to pick up with chopsticks. These are already bite-sized. I mean, and I pretty much eat with chopsticks or Korean spoons. So between those two things, if it's easy to pick up already, why reinvent the wheel? You know, whoever invented the wheel, it was invented round, and you know, it's really hard to improve upon something. So with that in mind, we're just going to let the onions and the peppers cook down with a little bit of hamburger in there, and then I'm going to chop up the kales. We'll throw them in the big pan, and the chard, and then lastly we'll throw in the tomatoes, and we'll be back with that here shortly. Here we have our cooked meat with our onions and chives and whatnot and peppers. We cooked up all the chard and kale. It really didn't make that much. I mean, that's a big bowl, but you know, it was a big pot of greens before. Then I had some wild rice with regular rice blend, and I just threw it in with the tomatoes and also a little bit of a salad mix that was mainly cabbage and carrots. So we've got that. We literally have, let me see here, we got 3 veggies there, 4 veggies here, so that's 7, 8, 9, because we have 2 different types of tomatoes. So we have 9 plus a little bit of cabbage, so 10, and then a little bit of carrots. So 11 vegetables in this mix. And we're going to box this all up and then freeze most of it for next week, and it will all be done. So there we go. And look, the oven is cleaned off now. Yay!